Me, Shannon B. Shemaine, Mr. Everything. And you are now tuned in to Morality Check.
What's up? What's up? What's up, checkers? This is Mr. Everything. My man, my partner for tonight. My man is Jermaine, and this is Morality Check. Jermaine, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, my boy? Hanging
Nothing
out.
much, man. It's me and you tonight, man. We taking over. It's the brother takeover today.
Hey, sometime it be like that, brother. Let's
It be
do it.
like that sometimes. Let's do it. So today's topic today is the fine line between taking an opportunity or taking advantage. And it kind of falls hand in hand. You know, you have the ultimate opportunists who know how to take advantage of someone, and then there's people who take advantage of the opportunity that they have in front of them. Not a lot of people take advantage of the opportunities that they have available to them. They kind of fall to the wayside and lose out on bigger and better things. So, Shemaine, you being a businessman, a business owner, run a couple of businesses, and Mr. Entrepreneur, how do you feel in terms of someone losing out on an opportunity for not taking advantage of it? And how do you feel about someone taking advantage of someone who gives them an opportunity?
Well, to me, sometimes it's one and the same. It's really all about how you follow through. Simply because in business you have to take advantage of the opportunities that are presented. And sometimes it can be one-sided. Sometimes it's by design. Sometimes it's by certain people's actions that make it one-sided. So I think it's just a thin line between which way you kind of attack the business, so to speak. And I've noticed over the years that most of the time, whenever business opportunities come up, we don't take advantage of them the right way. Sometimes people can be coy with business. Sometimes people don't want to get in debt with business, so they kind of say, you know what, I'll only take $3,000, where so they were offering 15,000, and you can really do something with that particular amount of money, but you don't want to get in debt. So that's just a way that I look at it. And then you have some people that will take advantage of your business because you're a small business, or they feel as if you don't have the skill sets to know what you have. So I guess that's something that we can get into deeper in today's conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think the main thing for a lot of people is knowing that fine line. Um, and not so much as the ones who are doing the either taking advantage of an opportunity or becoming an opportunist and taking advantage of an individual. They really don't know that fine line, and a lot of people kind of skate on that line to make sure they don't fall either way. You kind of want to fall on the side where you're taking advantage of an opportunity that's there for you, but I think our past discussions is that fear comes in, that fear factor of not being able to take advantage of the opportunity that you have available to you, and being able to grow and to do better, to have better, to have more. And then there's people who are the opportunists who see somebody who has more and is doing better, and they take advantage of that individual and kind of get what they have, or be able to step over them and try to beat them to the punch per se, and try to be better than them in some kind of way. Like someone just coming in to a new company and they're saying, oh, well, why is this guy getting this opportunity? Why is he doing that? Why is he doing this? And he trying to find out exactly what it is they're doing, and they utilize it, or they try to sabotage it just to make themselves get ahead in the next on that next level. So, and that also happens in personal life, where a man and a woman meet, or two friends are hanging out, and like boys, for instance. Let's say me and you going out to the club and we sitting there, we chilling. You see this lady that you interested in, and y'all don't lock eyes. Yeah, y'all don't lock eyes, and y'all checking each other out. And I happen to just, and you go up there, you talking to her, you buying drinks, you doing everything you need to do to grab this lady's attention. And I happen to catch her as she's walking out to the bathroom or something, and I throw a little bug in her hair about you, and I end up leaving the club with her. That's being an opportunist and taking advantage of somebody and utilizing something that they're already doing to have what they potentially had.
Yeah, I mean, playing the cards that was dealt is a big factor in this particular topic. Now I'm gonna tell you now, if I'm at the club and you snatch my little lady up, I'm gonna be upset. But at the same time, that's what I get for slipping. I should have locked that down before I let her walk away. But I'll tell you this, when we were talking about it in business, so one of the things that I'm up to now is I supervise a particular company now. And so we have a fleet of guys. Everybody is hungry because they know they can see where it can go, where you can make more money. And it's very cutthroat. People throw people under the bus, and we see it all day long. As me being a supervisor, I have to be observant enough to watch these things take place. And you start to ask yourself, why do people do that? And it's because, once again, they're taking advantage of a situation, the cards that they were dealt. So I look at it like this. I've said it, multiple times on the show. I take advantage of almost any opportunity, and it's kind of like you take lemons and make lemonade, and the reason why you do that is because you have to want more out of whatever you're doing. If you have ambition, that's what it's all about. And so that's something that I see a lot, that the guys that are there, they always will throw someone under the bus. But me being a supervisor, I understand that they don't have to throw someone under the bus, because I'm looking at you. I'm looking at what your skill sets are. It's not about how this other person messed up and you saved the day. I'm not looking for a superhero. I'm looking for somebody that can take care of business and do it the right way when told, or as the particular job it comes available. So that's my take on that. We see it often in almost everything that we do, but you have to understand which one is which. And I think that a lot of people get confused on it. It's kind of like whenever you tell yourself, you tell a lie, people start to believe their own lie. And it's the same concept with this. People start to do things and think that it's right just because they're doing it.
Absolutely. And I actually just looked it up. I'm always researching and Googling some things, and I looked on Quora, and a former lawyer by the name of M. Noor, she replied, the difference between opportunity and advantage. Opportunity is just a chance to do something in life to be successful. We consider it as a gateway to achieve a goal which is predestined in our life. When opportunity comes in our fate, when the time is in our favor, circumstances are right, we utilize it for our betterment. Whereas advantage is a situation that helps us to be more successful than other people. Taking advantage can be fair or unfair. We try to change a thing in a way that gives us a special improvement. Taking advantage has a hidden competition in its possession, whereas opportunity is a fortunate, faithful, optimistic incident in life, which we consider as a positive aspect of acceptance. Being opportunist, considered as a negative quality, as it means to grab or take the advantage of an opportunity and when it arises, regardless of planning, without caring about others' emotions and need in a selfish way. And that pretty much just breaks that down in a nutshell. How do you feel about that? Um, that reply in that regard. Do you agree with what she's saying? Is there anything that you take away from that as a whole?
Yeah, I would say the way I look at it is it's true. If you look at that definition, you start to think about it. Um, a gateway to evolution would be a way to get to where you're trying to get to, right? So it's still, once again, one and the same. If you start thinking, digging deep into it, no matter how you make it shiny and make it, intellectualize it, so to speak, it's still going to be the same concept. So if I take advantage of someone to get to where I'm trying to get to, that is the ultimate goal at the end of the day. It's just a smarter way of dealing with it. Now, it may not be perceived in the right way, but at the same time, hey, you can't knock the hustler. It's like if somebody teaches me, say somebody comes to me and teaches me how to do something, just like the analogy that they use with the fish for a day. You said it, I think last week. It's the same concept. So would I be mad at the person that taught me how to fish? No, not at all. It's one of those things where you have to start thinking about why your actions are taking place like that. So I don't feel as if it would be a bad thing. But at the same time, I think that the definition is right on point, man.
And that's one of the things people struggle with is being able to um, grasp the opportunities that they have available to them. It's like the woman said in the definition, um, you know, being considered an opportunist is presented negatively. But if the opportunity is there for you to, be better, do something different, then why not take it? Um, and I think it still goes back to fear. A lot of our topics kind of surrounds that word fear a lot because people are so afraid to. People are afraid to be better. People are afraid that you get to the top of that hill, you're going to fall, and it's going to be a long fall. You're going to hit a couple of rocks and bricks and branches on the way down. But here's the thing. How do you know what's getting up is like if you never fall? You know what I mean? I think Rocky said it best. Nobody's going to hit harder than you, and nobody's going to hit you harder than life. But it ain't about how many times you get hit and get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up and how many times you take advantage of the opportunity to get back up and to learn from those mistakes. You got punched in the face one time. Now, okay, you're going to get punched in the face again? Probably. But you know how it feels. And you know how to duck it. You know how to get away from it. And you know how to overcome it. And you know how to come back from it. So take advantage of the opportunity to be better, do better. Because when you know better, you do better. We got a comment at the bottom. In the era of this about me, how would you explain to the youth and how not to be selfish and take advantage? So in the era of it's about me, yes, it is about you. Undoubtedly, it is about you. Because you can't get nothing out of life if you don't do it. Nobody's going to give it to you. Nobody's going to hand it to you. So it is about you. It's about you going out there and doing exactly what you need to do. Now, being selfish in that regard, sometimes you need a little selfishness in order to get to another level. Because you're going to have people that's going to take advantage of you and hold you down and ride your coattails so they can get exactly what you're getting and you're putting in all the work. They're just sitting back, just enjoying the spoils of it. So sometimes you have to have a little selfishness, but you have to know when you got knocked down, who was there to give you that bottle of water? Who was there to put that steak, that cold steak over your black eye? Who was there to wipe up your bloody lip, and got you back to where you need to be. So, yeah, it is about you. It is always about you. And you have to make it about you because only you can get you what you want. Only you can get you where you want to be in life. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. As far as this era of being all about me, I've spent a whole year now preaching um selfish. And it took me 43, 44 years for me to understand that sometimes selfish is okay. And so I think that if I had to explain it to the youth, um, I think life's experiences is the best teacher. So if I had to teach it to them, that's exactly what I would do. I would show them all the different ways of how you go to that fork and you make the wrong decision, or how you go to that fork and make the right decision. And to me, that would be the way that I would talk to them about being selfish versus someone taking advantage of you or you taking advantage of them. At the end of the day, I think that we all need to hold ourselves accountable and stop taking advantage of anybody. Use your own effort and energy to do what you got to do. That's recipe for success right there. If you keep on making up excuses of why you got to do this and why you got to do that, that's why people get taken advantage of right there. So I'm one person that I'm always being taken advantage of. It's just my nature is too nice. I've always done things for people. I'm a natural rescuer. So, the damsel in distress thing always happens to me. But at the same time, am I wrong for being selfish? Because sometimes it has its exploits, or am I being taken advantage of? So it's got to be a reciprocal thing. So you have to start thinking about it that way. And that's how I would explain it to the youth.
Exactly, and then exploitations of things is very ideal in this topic, because people will exploit your weaknesses, your strengths. They will exploit your ability to run up and help someone at the drop of a dime. Having that Superman syndrome where you feel like you got to save everybody. Um, and then you got to sit back and think about who is it that's calling you selfish, and why are they calling you selfish? Is it that you're selfish because you're not following the pack of what everybody else is doing? And you're doing your own thing, you're trying your own way. Because like you just said, you have that fork in the road. To the right, you got a group of people that's going to go doing one thing. To the left is just you by yourself. Sometimes you got to walk alone to be able to understand that it's either going to make you or break you. And a lot of times, doing that one lonely walk and you look selfish makes you better than following everybody else that's going to walk right off the edge of a cliff. And the only thing they can say is, well, at least you were with us. Yeah, but we all dead now, so I guess none of it matters. So, sometimes you got to be selfish in regard to be able to have an understanding of where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do, and how to get there. And to be able to keep people from being able to take advantage of you and utilize all your gifts for their own, agendas. Because everybody has a hidden agenda in some kind of way. It doesn't matter what it is, either new girlfriend, new boyfriend, ex, your cousin twice removed that got married into the family 3 times already. It's everybody has some kind of way to take advantage of something, or they see an opportunity to either get closer to you, find a way to separate from you, learn from you, steal from you. Everything is an opportunity to do something. Everything is possible. That's one of my quotes. Everything is possible. So you got to understand the possibilities of anything and everything happening at any given time. We got another comment. Have you ever offered help and the person took advantage? If so, where did they cross the line? I'm gonna let you tackle that one first, Shemaine.
All the damn time. Lord help me. So, if I had to talk about an experience whereas to the person took advantage of me and where they crossed the line, I would say they took advantage of my giving spirit. I had a young lady that I've known for years that moved into my home, and I felt her situation. She had multiple kids, And one day she came to visit, and when I took her kids to the car, make a long story short, I noticed that she was living out of her car with her children. And I said, you know what? You can come stay here. You don't have to go home. And at that point in time, I felt it was my duty as a friend to help her get back on her feet. And it lasted a good long while. But I learned that she was an alcoholic. And when she crossed the line, and this is a little bit not PG, was when one of my customers came to conduct business with me. And when he opened the door, she was laying in the floor butt naked. That's when she had to go. Because I had to, it got to the point where I can't do this. I'm enabling this. I knew she had a problem, but I'm allowing this young lady to live the way she is. If she wants to do those things on her own time, that's fine. But when somebody is helping you, you need to walk that fine line and do everything you can to show that you're trying to take it to that next level, or use what you are given to excel in life.
Absolutely. And I guess for me, have I ever offered help and a person took advantage? We can look at it in several different ways. Did they take advantage of the opportunity of the help that they were given, or did they take advantage of the help and utilize it in a more negative way? Um, right now, I can't recall either situation. Well, I can't recall the more negative situation, the more betterment situation. I talk to wrestlers all the time. Spoke to a couple of guys this past Monday, and they always come up to me and with so much gratitude whenever I offer advice and give them certain things to try to do, or just give them words of encouragement. Oh, and they always send me a message like, "Hey, man, you probably didn't know it at the time, but I really needed to hear what you said," or you got me thinking about some things that I never thought about before. Thank you for always taking the time to talk to me. Thank you for realizing that I exist. And some people just need that sometimes. I did find a quote on here that says, "Don't take advantage of people, but take advantage of your time and opportunities. For people present opportunities, and to not take advantage is a waste of your time." That's tough. That's big right there, because time comes and goes really quick. It comes really quick. I mean, this is what, August? By tomorrow we'll be in December. Like, legit, that's just how fast time moves. By the time you turn around and you blink and you clap 2 times and you click your heels, you'll be in 2023. And you have to take advantage of the time that you have available to you, and the opportunity to do things that you never thought you'd be able to do before. I mean, for me, I never thought I'd travel around the country like I do. I never thought I'd been on TV wrestling for WWE or and any of it. I've never thought I'd have opportunities to be in magazines, be on TV shows, be offered my own TV series. None of it. But I'm taking advantage of the opportunity to be able to utilize that and utilize it for the betterment of me and my family, and for the people that's going to follow behind me. And I think that's where the line draws, where people are utilizing the time and the opportunity to take advantage to better themselves and better the next generation, or they're just taking advantage and just being the true negative definition of selfishness, and they're just being all about themselves. Let's see. We got any more questions coming up? Let me ask you a question, Shemaine. So, in business, how do you present an opportunity with someone without putting yourself in a position where they could take advantage of you? Not the opportunity, but advantage of you.
Well, I'll say this in business. In the beginning, it's easy for people to take advantage of you. Simply because your thirst is different for success. Once you get a taste of success, you become successful. Um, there is no being taken advantage of unless you allow it. Um, a billionaire actually talked to me one time, and one of the things that he said was never be afraid to walk away from business. I think that a lot of people are afraid early off whenever they're entrepreneurs and in business because they're afraid that if I walk away from this $500, I ain't gonna be able to pay my bills, or I'm not gonna get that $500 no time soon. You can't think like that whenever you're an entrepreneur. You can't think like that when you want success out of your own business. You have to feel as if, you know what, this person is not worthy of my product, and the next person is a better fit for my product, and they not gonna give me no haggle. And I'll tell you, sometimes it's almost like whenever you speak things into existence, it always happens. I had a situation where it took me, I was hungry for the money. You know, I needed to pay rent one month. I was behind. And I got to the point where I had a MacBook Pro and I knew its worth. And I felt like, oh, I got to sell this thing. Oh my God. And the customer called in and said, yeah, you know, I love this machine. I've been looking for this exact machine. So I knew that they really needed it. And I knew that they really wanted it. They had done their research and I had to sell it to them. Well, when they got there, before they even got there, they said, oh, you know what? I need to get it cheaper. And I looked at it, I said, well, why would you haven't even seen the product. So why would you want something cheaper if you haven't seen the product? And he looked at me and said, well, you know, oh, it's a scratch right here and this right here. Make a long story short, that let me know right then and there he was trying to get over. I saw what he pulled up in. You see what I'm saying? And I know how hungry I was as a man, but I wasn't going to bow down and allow that man to belittle my company and my product. And that's that confidence that you have to walk with whenever you feel like you want to be successful in business. And that person I ended up declining the sale. I said, you know what? I'm sorry, I can't sell it to you. They walked on. I tell you, 45 minutes later, a lady called in and said, you know what? I need a new Mac, blah, 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 blah. My budget is XYZ. I said, say less. I said, you want me to ship it to you or you want me to bring it to you? And that money came right back to me. So that goes to show in business, it's a little bit different whenever it comes down to people taking advantage of you, because like I said, it comes with experience. It also comes with the will to want better out of your company.
I totally agree with that. But here's the thing: a lot of people do not know how to walk away. They feel as though if they walk away from this opportunity at hand, or they don't take advantage of this individual right now, that's going to be it. There is no more opportunities. And sometimes that's true. Sometimes you may walk away from something and there's no more opportunities. But that doesn't say there's something different, something better. You know, maybe you're not supposed to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you're supposed to go and work for this new company, and you're actually going to be given that company after a while. You know, maybe you're not supposed to be a wrestler. Maybe you're supposed to be a music artist. Maybe you're not supposed to be working in this restaurant on your foot all day, 12-hour shifts, busting tables. Maybe you're supposed to be out there ministering to people. So it's all in the taking the time to actually see where it is you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to get there. Our next comment is, for you, where does the line rest in a relationship, or does it exist? And I think that's in regards to opportunity and taking advantage. Where does the line rest in a relationship, or does it exist? I say for me, the line rests in the conversation and the understanding of what y'all trying to do and where you're trying to go. there is opportunity to take advantage of someone, whether it's emotionally, physically, mentally, um, economically, monetarily. You can take advantage of their money, of the things that they have, their riches, their resources, and you have to see exactly how that plays out. And sometimes people are blinded. Sometimes they have the tunnel vision where they don't see how it's all happening. It's right there in front of their face, and they just don't see it because they're in love, or they're in lust, or they can't see themselves without this person, or they don't want to be alone. They don't want to be rejected. It's all these different factors that come into play. So you have to sit back and actually have that understanding, have that conversation in front of the jump street. All right, what are you trying to do? Where are you trying to go? How are you trying to get there? And how long is it going to take you? And you kind of go from there, and you kind of gauge and watch how they move. If they say, oh, well, I'm going to be president of the United States in the next 10 years. And they ain't went into not one public office to try to do anything in the public in 5 years, they ain't really pressing to be president of nothing. President of, I'm going to take advantage of you. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna keep living off you. That's pretty much it, So, Shemaine, how do you feel that? And I know you're not in a relationship right now, but how you feel as that in regards to a business relationship?
Oh, you spoiled my fun, man. Well, I'll take it back to the business side of it. In a business relationship, when you're being taken advantage of, whenever the fruits of the actual labor are not reciprocal. When you get to the point where one person is winning and you're still struggling, I think that that's a big piece of business, is recognizing what you're up against, recognizing also the foundation that you have been given. Um, I've been one of those people that I'm always trying to help my fellow man get better, no matter what, even if it takes money out of my pocket to help them succeed. That's what I want to do, because I realize that person, two people can eat the same way as one person can eat. One person may be eating a little bit better, but at the same time, if both people are eating, when one person falls off, the other person still has something. And you never know, you might need to piggyback off of that person to take that extra step. So everybody in my crew, when I say my crew, all my vendors, all the people that I deal with when it comes down to business, they understand that I'm not a selfish person. I don't step on nobody's toes. Matter of fact, I'll pass them business, because I feel like, why would I try to do something extra that you can do and you already got it? If you got a product right there in your pocket, why would I say, you know what? I want this business. I can go get it, but my boy got it right here. So I might as well allow him to go ahead and make that money, bro. Because you never know, on the back side of that, he might say, you know what, man, you helped me get that sale. Let me slide you 5% of my earnings. You see what I'm saying? And you never know, but in business, you have to really pay attention to who you're around, who you're in business with. And it's the same thing with relationships. You don't want to be in a relationship with the wrong person. I'm one of those people, kind of like yourself. Whenever you said that, it really hit home, because I know, I tell them from the jump, this is the way it is. I'm not going to hide nothing. I'm not going to hold nothing back. So if something's going to go on, you better off just letting me know, hey, see, this ain't working. You know what? I got another dude on the side or whatever. And I'm like, cool, it is what it is. I'm glad it didn't get no deeper than it did. We can still, we cool. It is what it is, and move on. But whenever people have all this fake lifestyle and people start doing things in a shady way, it gets awkward. And that's whenever people taking advantage of other people make people get hurt. When I say people get hurt emotionally and physically, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen to a young lady that I was dating once. She had a baby daddy, and the baby daddy wasn't having nobody close to her kids. And see, she didn't have that total disclosure with her baby's father that, hey, I'm talking to C now. And so it got to the point where, fisticuffs come up and it had to rough up baby daddy. But I didn't want to do that. But at the same time, that's how it happened. So once again, you have to really think about that, especially in relationships, how total disclosure is everything.
And you know what? And just from you saying that got me thinking, um, since the beginning of time, every human on this planet has had a war, right? There's always been some kind of battle, some type of fight over something. And if you sit back and you think about it, it's always about trying to take advantage of the other person or trying to be that opportunist to say, you know what, I don't like the fact that he has 2 ears of corn on his land more than I do. I don't like the fact that he's able to swim in that lake and I don't have no lake on my side of the earth. And it's got me thinking, when does it stop? When will it ever stop? We have wars going on now. We have talks of wars coming up, and it's nothing more than one country trying to take advantage of another. One person trying to seek the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm better than this person, or I'm the better president, I'm the better leader, or whatever they want to call themselves on a Sunday afternoon or after dawn. But I don't think, and it falls into this conversation, this last comment of where does that line rest in a relationship? Because if you think about it, a lot of these leaders have had the opportunity to sit down and talk and discuss things and kind of figure it out. The dumbest thing I've ever seen was the world debt calculator, where it shows how the whole world is in debt with each other. How? And it boils down to everybody trying to take advantage of the other. Everybody's trying to have the ability to say, I have more than you do. Or I don't like the fact that you have more than I do. And I'm going to find a way to get it back from you. I'm going to find a way to get more than you. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over there and I'm going to tell you I want X, Y, and Z. And if you don't give it to me, we're going to fight. That just doesn't make any sense to me. And it kind of opened my eyes just now to realize that this entire life has always been about taking advantage of somebody else or trying to have the ability to say, I have more than the next person. And it makes no sense because at the end of the day, we all have the same opportunity to have better. We all have the same opportunity to do better. But it's the fact that someone else is already there and we want it now. It's the instant. We want it now. We had wood fire stoves to cook our foods. Now we have microwaves because we want our food now. We don't want to take about 2 hours to cook dinner. We want the food now. Let me get a microwave dinner. Let me throw it in the microwave. There it is. And it doesn't really doesn't make any sense to me. And this conversation kind of opened my eyes to the factor of what I just said. The entire existence of life has always been about having the advantage over somebody else. Last comment for the night. Do you believe that a person can take advantage out of necessity and not just greed? I'm gonna let you tackle that first, Shemaine.
Okay, I'm gonna reread that to myself to make sure that I have it in context. Do you believe that a person can take advantage out of necessity and not just greed? No. Um, Although anything is possible, everything exists, I can't accept that. Necessity is one thing, that if they need something, they don't have to take advantage to get it. You can always ask for it. You can also have a support system that allows you to get the satisfaction that you need, but you don't have to take advantage of someone to get where you're trying to go. I think that that's the key ingredient of the whole situation or topic. I think that when people understand that, it's a better way if you take the steps, the necessary steps to pay attention to what you're doing and not what you're wanting, success is imminent. You will take play. You will get the fruits of that particular labor. I think that a lot of times what people do is they don't think before they react. They just automatically say, oh, I need this, so I'm going to get it from the first person I know. I don't even know this person, but I'm going to take advantage of them. It's the same concept of, people that get into trouble by robbing and stealing just because they got to pay their child support, or they got to rob Peter to pay Paul. You see what I'm saying? Why would you do that? So I can't say that I can accept that, although it exists. I just can't accept that. And that's just me. I'm just being, total honesty about the whole situation. You have to kind of stop giving excuses for the reasoning behind your greed or why you're taking advantage of someone, because at the end of the day, it's not a good thing. Like I said, there's more than one way to almost do anything in this world. All it takes is a little bit of effort, a little bit of energy, and a lot of understanding. So I'm gonna leave it with that, and hopefully that helped out with that particular question, and we'll go from there.
And I think this may be the first time we've actually disagreed, because I think it goes beyond taking advantage of an individual, but more so of an opportunity. Someone can take advantage out of necessity rather than greed, because they can say, you know what, I need to take advantage of this opportunity to better myself. I don't want to live on the streets anymore. I don't want to depend on a family member to do certain things for me, or X, Y, and Z. I don't want to be that person to continuously take advantage of another person for the sake of greed. I need to learn how to do it for myself. And it goes back to, you can feed a man for a day, feed a man and he'll eat for a day, but if you teach him to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. And some people can take advantage of the opportunity to learn how to fish, so that way they have exactly everything they need to be able to better themselves and to be able to grow.
All right. So my thing with that, and I accept that, that's awesome. I love, whenever people see different viewpoints. It's not necessarily a disagreement. It's just different ends of the spectrum that we see it at that moment per se. But at the same time, I still, I would hold on to my particular statement still on myself, simply because it's still an excuse. There's another way. I'm always looking at infinite possibilities. You can't sit back and just say, well, this is the best answer that I have, and that's what I'm running with. Why would you do that? You look at all different aspects of the answers and say, you know what, maybe this one is the best one, so I'm gonna rob Peter to pay Paul, but I really didn't mean it. You see what I'm saying? So you have to still think about your moral. You have to think about your ultimate agenda. You have to think about who you're taking advantage of, and most of the time the people that you're taking advantage of are people that are close to you. That's where I have the problem with it. So that's why I say I can't accept it. Now, if I'm a total stranger and I just walk up to a man and say, you know what, man, can I borrow $1? Knowing I don't need the dollar, now that's a little bit different than going to your mama and saying, mama, can I borrow $20? And you just needed to top off your $100 bill. You see what I'm saying? It's a little bit different when it's somebody that you really care about, opposed to somebody that's a total stranger. Now, if somebody's a total stranger, hey, the hell with them. You know what I mean? Because you might not ever see them no more. But that same person that you walked over to get to the top, you're going to see him on the way back down. Trust and believe that.
Absolutely, absolutely. You definitely don't want to, like they always say, you never want to look down on anybody unless it's just to pull them up. And that's pretty much it. Um, Man, this was a good topic, and the fact that the fellas held it down today. We should have Miss Shannon B back next week. So morally speaking, there's a fine line between love and hate and love and basketball and I love Lucy. Just make sure you take advantage of the opportunity and not advantage of the individual that's trying to help you get that opportunity. This is my man Shemaine. I'm Mr. Everything, and we are giving you your morality check.